What is going on, guys? Auto here once again, bringing you a Tekken 7 tutorial. So yeah, before we begin, you should learn how to do backdashing. Not a rage rock, that was an input error. But you should learn how to do backdashing and wave dashing on both sides, because it is really good to be able to do this on Jin. And the inputs are below, but if you want a more in-depth explanation, it's literally input back. So back to backdash, and then you cancel the backdash by doing down forward, back, and then repeat the motion over and over again. So you want to start off by doing it slowly and then pick up the speed. You don't want to be starting off, doing it really quickly right away, because you're not going to get to this level of speed straight away. Then you want to learn how to do the electric, because this move is really good in this game on Jin, because it's actually a launcher and it does a decent amount of damage, 63 damage. Although I think I'm on counter hit. No, actually, no, I'm not on counter hit. I'm on rage. Okay, so let's turn that off. So as you can see, this does a ton of damage. Good war carry as well. Really good move. And you want to be learning the electric variant. Obviously, he has a normal one, but this doesn't launch. It only launches on counter hit. So yeah, plus on top of that, this move is +5 on block, which I'll show you in a second. As you can see, look at that block stun. They get a huge amount of block stun. So yeah, basically this into this is basically guaranteed. Yeah, Jin is really strong in this game. He has a lot of good tools. So let's begin. So basically electric, how do you do electric? Forward, neutral, let go. That means let go of the button. So do forward, neutral, let go, down, down, forward, and then press 2 at the exact same frame. Like that. And you want to be able to do this at will, basically. It's not really necessary to learn it on Jin, but it's just really helpful because this is a 14 frame launcher and it's going to be your main whiff punisher. So let's say someone, I don't know, let's say they whiff a move. So let's say this Jin randomly does can-cans in my face. Obviously, I can also not, I could do that, but that move is kind of hard to do. Being able to into dash, because if they block it, I could end up eating a launch. Whereas being able to dash into an electric will come out quicker. So 14 frame move. So as you can see, really good move. It also can be used to punish moves as well. So yeah, if you're very good at punishment. Alright, so now that we've established electrics, obviously he has another version of the electric, which is this, which is a mid launcher, but this move is punishable. It's -12, which means it can be punished by any move that comes out at 12 frames or quicker. However, it's a really strong launcher. And yeah, but you won't be using it a lot unless it's to whiff punish. However, even if you do the electric variant, it's also still unsafe. So yeah, but let's begin with the character. So this character is mostly played he can play offensively, he can play defensively, you can turtle, you can poke. He's got it all. He's a balanced character. He has everything you need. He has lows, mids, hop kick, punishment, launchers. He has everything you need. However, compared to other characters, he doesn't necessarily do extremely well in these aspects, but he does good in these aspects, which is good enough in my opinion. So he's basically the jack of all trades. He has everything a character needs. He even has a launcher that comes out of below. You know how good that is? That is really good. He also has decent throw game. So yeah, so how would we start Jin's offense? Down forward 1. That is just plain and simple. Down forward 1, really strong move on Jin, because you can hit confirm into the down forward 1-4. However, this move, unfortunately, is a high, so if you just throw it out, they can duck it and launch you. However, that's where the mix-up comes in handy, which is this down forward 4-4, down forward 1-4-4, total 4. That's called. So yeah, so just tap 4 twice after inputting down forward 1-4. Then you'll get a mid launcher that's safe on block. This move is completely safe on block. and if they try and interrupt you, so I'll show you right here. But let's say I duck and try and do a launcher, that will launch it, and you get counter hit. Next tool that starts his offense is 2-1, 10 frame move, and it actually has tracking. It tracks to the left slightly, so if I do, as you can see, it has a bit of tracking to the left, and yeah, I mean to the right, sorry, tracks to the right. And that's Jin's weak spot, which is really handy, especially against people who step. Obviously you can still step, but I mean it's a bit hard. It does have some tracking. There is a little bit of tracking, as you can see. It also has an extension which is 2-1-4, which, you know, it's not a natural combo. However, it can catch people off, especially because you can actually delay it, which I'll show you. However, you gotta be careful when using this against good players, because if they see that you're actually delaying the string, oop, that didn't block. Which I'll show you. That can happen, and you can end up getting launched, so they just backdash it. Like, yeah, you just want to be really careful when you're throwing this move out. These type of moves out, so yeah. However, regardless, the 2-1 by itself is still a really excellent string, one of the best strings in the game. Because it's a solid string, there's nothing that any person can do to actually beat the string, because it's just that good. It's a 10 frame string. It can also be used as a punish, I guess, but why would you do that? And as well as that, it allows him to offer, you know, really strong mix-up between the mid and a low. As you can see, you can just mix it up to down back 4 and down 4. Down back 4 is going to be your main low, because this has insane range. You know, being able going from 2-1-4 into a low, going down forward 1 into a low. You know, into down 4 as well. Down 4 is going to be your round ender, because this is actually negative on hit, so yeah. It's a really fast low, it's unseeable. So, you know, you're going to be wanting to use that as a round ender, whereas this you want to use as pressure because it's plus on block. So, you know, down forward 1, I think it's uninterruptible. Okay, so +3, which means it trades with a low jab, which, you know, is in your favor, because low jab doesn't do that much damage. Trades with jabs as well, so I mean, they can still step and stuff, but I mean, you know, it's a bit harder to step when you're in minus frames. So yeah, this and this are going to be your main low pokes, because this move is relatively safe. I believe it's -13, but not many people can actually launch you for it. So yeah, only like 5 people can launch you. Kazuya and Mishima being one of them. Yeah, really good move. Forward 4, counter hit launcher. Now I dropped the combo. You know, really good move, because it's safe on block and you can cancel it into Zan. However, you can actually do follow-ups, which I advise against, because you can actually get counter hit out of it. An easy combo, because you don't actually need to do any motions to actually do it. So, but on the other hand, up kick, free combo. I get a free juggle if you do that, regardless of the option you choose. So, how do you cancel it? You input the move, which is forward. So yeah, you put forward +4, and then you input forward, so you hold the forward, and then as he makes that little like hand gesture, you input down forward, and then that will cancel it into a crouch dash, and then you cancel the crouch dash by inputting back. So that's the input, so go into that and then instantly go into back, and that is completely safe on block. However, you have to beware though that that good players will you know, will try and sidestep this. Right, there we go, finally did the right combo. But yeah, this move can be stepped, and if it does get stepped, you could get launched for it. So yeah, I think that basically goes, you know, basically it for his pokes. Obviously he's got a power crush, it's a high, decent power crush. I believe this is safe on block as well. But yeah, that's basically it for his pokes. Let's go on to some, really good moves. So forward, forward 2. It's actually safe on block. It's a good. You can use it as a kind of like a poke type move because it's actually safe on block. However, it's not actually truly safe on block, as it is minus, but it has a ton of pushback. As you can see, there's pushback, and even though this looks like, oh, they can punish you, because of the recovery and stuff, you can't actually punish it, which I'll demonstrate here. So I'm going to try and punish it. You can see, punish whiffs. It's not minus 13, it's actually minus 11, so only 10 frame moves will reach. So like, yeah, I mean the only thing they can do is potentially like, go for like dash stuff, but you can just backdash and then potentially whiff. So yeah, it's generally basically it when it comes to Jin pokes and stuff. So let's talk about his crouch dash mix up. So he does have a crouch dash mix up, which is, let's say he lands a knockdown, you can go for this type of mix up. It was really good because it does a ton of damage actually. He has a launching low, which not a lot of character has, and it's quite relatively quick. It's actually quite quick. And it does a decent amount of damage. 49 damage is pretty high for a low launcher. For a really quick low, because this low is really quick, as you can see. But yeah, I think that's generally it about his thing. And you want to be mixing this up with 443, because this is also a mid launcher. This is a mid launcher, and you get a full combo off it. And it does a decent amount of damage. You get some nice wall carry, and yeah, really good move. You can also mix it up with a hop kick, which actually is a low crush. So that means it will go over low moves. And it does a decent amount of damage. You can also, however, if you think that, oh, you don't want to get launched for throwing this move out, you can actually just mix it up with this. But this is plus on block, so you can actually just go for the frame advantage, and it's not that punishable. It's on, you'll only eat a while standing 4 or a 13 frame punisher. However, if the opponent has a 13 frame launcher and they're launching you every single time they block this, there's no point going for this move. You may as well just go for the risky house sweep, because you're going to get launched regardless, so you may as well do a launch punishable move anyway. That's more rewarding. You can also mix it up with like while standing 2 as well, because this move is really quick. Because some really good players, they can react to the forward 4-3. You should note that even if this move is blocked, you still are at frame advantage. You're at +1, so that means if you do a jab, it'll be it's uninterruptible by any standing move. And down forward 1, you can still get low jab, but if they're low jabbing a lot, I mean, you can just predict it and just low parry. And yeah, I think that's generally about Jin. Let's talk about punishers. Okay, so juggles generally are going to be exactly the same. So electric wind hook fist is literally going to be this, into a crash dash mix up or something. 4-4-2 as the ender at the wall. Not exactly the highest damage combo, but it just depends, really. Obviously, if a wall's nearby, then you might want to go for 1+2 as the ender, because then it allows you to do this, high damage combos like this. So the way you do the combo is back 3, hold forward, and then press 1. And then if you want to go for just damage, input 2. If you just want to go, if you want to go for the extra wall carry, input 1+2. Obviously, the 1-2 does more damage, but 1+2 gives the wall carry, which allows you to do more damage in theory, if you think about it. For your combo, hop kick is going to be, generally your screw is going to be standing 4. You could go for this, but this is just, a bit harder. The combo's a bit harder to land. As you can see, it does a bit more damage, 60 damage. Well, 59 damage because of the wall hit. So let's look at the damage comparison. Oops, dropped the combo because pad's bad. You know, you're missing 4 points of damage, like let's be real, 4 points of damage, that is nothing. That's not even a jab, that's like half a jab. So yeah, is it worth it? Hell yeah. It's better to get the do the easier combo and not drop the combo than, you know, miss damage for no reason. So yeah, standing 4 is going to be a screw, back 3 hold forward, and then press 1 is going to be your you know, filler and ender. So yeah, it's exactly the same with can-cans, exactly the same combo. And yeah, the only exception is going to be this. You're going to have to actually wait for the character to land a little bit, otherwise the move is actually going to whiff, which I'll demonstrate. If it's on, like, as you can see, if it's from a distance, it's actually going to whiff, but you can fix that by actually doing the jab. So yeah, you can actually fix it by doing adding a jab in there, or you could actually fix it by doing 2. You can actually do 2, and then obviously if you got execution, and then you can pull off combos like that if you got the execution for it. Obviously that's a really advanced combo, and you probably won't pull it off even in a real game, even if you do have the execution for it. So yeah, other combos would include, you know, your house sweep. So, you know, easy combo, you know, very, very easy, straightforward. How can I forget this move? Once again, exact same thing. And obviously if you have the execution, you can go for electrics. And, you know, whatever, the exact same ender. And yeah, you might have noticed I've switched to stick. The only reason I switched to stick was just to do that one combo. I can't do it on pad. But yeah, I think that's generally it for combos. Let's move on to war splats. Okay, so war splats. Generally, the main war splats you're going to be using for war splats are going to be forward, forward 2, and electrical hook fist, and that's basically it. Like, you're not going to really use any. You could use this, you know, this, but this is a fake war splat. It's not really a war splat. And I guess to some extent punishers, obviously, of course, if you punish someone at the wall, and maybe this as well. But yeah, like if you land a war splat, what type of combo would you do? So easy combo, standing 2, down back 2, 2, 3. Works every single time, no execution required, literally just do the move. If you want to add damage to a war splat, down 3 plus 4. So you backdash and then you down 3 plus 4. However, it does require a bit of timing. And that's generally it. Like, that's how you add damage to a war splat. There are some ways you can actually get combos, like for example, so if you didn't use the electric wind hook fist to actually, you know, do the juggle, then to get the splat, then you can actually extend the screw. Okay, let's talk about homing moves. Jin has a range of homing moves. People are going to be wanting to step Jin to the right. However, he has homing moves that are really threatening, so people, you know, really don't want to be stepping against Jin. And the inexperienced players are going to be getting war splatted if they do choose to step, because they all war splat, as you can see. And so what homing moves does he have? The main one you're going to be using is standing 4. This is a 13 frame homing move, really quick. It is a high, however, it is a counter hit launcher. Well, all of his homing moves are counter hit launchers and war splats. And you know, that's the combo you use. I'm pretty sure you know the notations by now, as I've been through it already. His while standing 3 is an auto screw, very similar to his electric wind hook fist. Exactly the same combo. It can be done out of a crouch dash by you know, doing neutral. So letting go of this, letting go as you do the crouch dash, let go, and then, you know, input 3, and that will come out as a while standing 3. Zan 3, you're never going to be using this if I'm honest with you. Maybe as a gimmick or something, but generally you shouldn't. That move won't even really come out. So this is going to be the main splat. I mean, home move you're going to be using. So yeah, it's really good. Unfortunately, in this game, it's buffed, but it's also nerfed. It's buffed in the fact that it's a counter hit launcher and the fact that it war splats. But the issue is, before in the previous game, you used to get guaranteed hit on normal hit. So you used to be able to, you know, do this, dash forward and get a free grounded hit. But it's fine. You know, you get a frame advantage very similar to this, so you can actually, like, you know, go into forward 4, counter hit them, and, you know, go for pressure. And I think that's really it for his homing moves. Okay, let's talk about his rage drive and rage art. So generally, rage drive and rage art, his rage drive is much better. 70 damage. Well, it depends really how low you are and stuff, but generally you want to be using the rage drive more, unless you know you want to go, unless they're just whiffed in your face and you can just literally do it raw like this. But in combos, it's much preferred unless it's open ground to do this. You know, because then you can get like huge ass damage. Like, look at the damage on this. Because this actually causes a resplat, and it can be used in combos. It can only be used in one combo, and that's the electric wind hook fist combo, or the counter hit. You know, while standing B combo. But you do have to dash forward for it. You do have to dash up. There is a bit of execution, but literally, all I'd personally do is I just mash the 3+4 button. Like, literally, that's what I do. But you can also do it raw. You know, you can do it in combos. It has to be a one-hit combo though. So, like, let's say, you know, it really does have to be a one-hit combo. Otherwise, you know what I mean, you'll just mess the combo up completely. You know, it does offer huge advantage on block. You know, look at the advantage, especially at the wall, like. You know, you're like +10. So you can do stuff like this, but it is risky if you're versing good players. So it's not completely safe. And I'll show you how you beat the rage drive, sorry, so not like that. You duck the third hit. And you know, you get a free launch. Anyway, I think that's generally it about Jin. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you found it educational and enjoyable. So I'll see you next time. Later.